Hi, this is Ravit Rose, founder of Irooze. Super pleased to be here with Bob, who is the founder of Credit Repair Resources. And I'm really excited to be talking about this because I've been seeing this same pattern over and over again with parents around all across the US. And there is this old and outdated paradigm, this old way of thinking, where when you start off your divorce process, you need to first, find yourself a shark, badass lawyer who's going to fight for you. And then as you're negotiating, you're fighting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with the other parent through your lawyer, paying hourly as you go through every decision making. So you do a lot of negotiations, and then you sign a divorce decree. Okay. Then you go out into the real world and you say, great, now my divorce decree, it says that I need to buy you out, Bob. And so I go to my mortgage loan officer, I go to the bank, I go to whoever, and oops, I find out, hold on a second, I have bad credit. Oops, I didn't know that I can't qualify for a mortgage. So what happens? I just went and fought, and spent a ton of money with a lawyer to get exactly what I wanted. And now it turns out I can't even do it. It's just not doable. So what we're seeing here is that people need to start doing the reverse. You need to start off by crafting your divorce strategy, understanding all your finances, understanding your credit, what you have, what you don't have, what's your credit looking like, speak to the right professionals. And then once you have that all figured out, you go to your attorney and say, this is what I want in my divorce decree. So we're now teaching you guys how to do this reverse because this is the most important thing. Okay. And so Bob is going to be here today to share with you some tips and strategies as to why would you want to check your credit before you start your negotiations with the partner, with your spouse, and through your attorney. So Bob, I'll pass it on to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. My pleasure. And yeah, it's such an important question, and there's a number of reasons why you'd want to check your credit report in advance. And obviously, the first is to plan. Right, when you go into what is a battle, and hopefully it's not a battle for your divorce. Hopefully you're doing it amicably, but you need to have a plan. The last thing you want to do is get surprised in the 11th hour, and so it's really important to check your credit report early on because it's the old Chinese proverb about when's the best time to plant an oak tree if you want an oak tree. It's 100 years ago or whatever. Well, with credit repair, it's kind of the same thing. When is the best time to start repairing your credit? 6 months ago is really the best time. It takes time. The last thing you want to do is find yourself in front of a judge that has ordered you previously to get your spouse financed off the house or what have you, and you're facing that judge on a contempt motion because you haven't done it. And now you have to explain to the judge, well, judge, I did everything on time and I tried to get it done, but unfortunately, my credit wasn't good, and now I'm going through the repair process and so forth. Staring down the barrel of a contempt order in court is never fun, and the last thing you want to do is get any kind of jeopardy with the judge. So it's important to start that process early. It'll help you avoid surprises as well. I had a client not too long ago that when she pulled her credit report, discovered that her spouse had opened a bunch of credit cards in her name without her permission. She had no idea that any of these had been opened, but when she pulled her credit report, she started going through the report and seeing all these things she didn't recognize. Once she did some more research, she found out it was her spouse opening things and, of course, maxing them out and not paying things and really trashing her credit. But she never would have known that had she not started that process early. Fortunately, she did. So she was able to use that information in the negotiation process of getting the divorce and saying, hey, look, you've got to clean these things up and pay them off and get them off of my credit report and so forth. The other thing that I think is really important to do it in advance is because entirely too many people rely on the financial affidavits that you file at the beginning of a divorce. Most courts in the US require those financial affidavits, but if you talk to any attorney that's been practicing in the domestic relations arena for a year or more, they all have war stories, right? We all have war stories about people that discover things down the road that their spouse was doing financially that crazy enough, were not disclosed on those financial affidavits. Because who's going to tell, on a financial affidavit that I was opening, credit cards in my spouse's name, or that I took my paramour on a trip to Europe and put it on on our joint credit card, but I get the statement, so you didn't notice that $10,000 charge that would show up obviously on the credit report. So it's really important to start that process early. I would say at least 6 months in advance. Any legitimate credit repair process, and at Credit Repair Resources, as the attorney for the company, I've designed the process based on my litigating with the bureaus and with creditors and debt collectors and so forth. So the process legitimately can take 4 to 6 weeks to actually repair your credit. So you want to start that process early and not be surprised when you go to the mortgage person because you're under a court order and they tell you they can't do it for you immediately. So you never know what you might find. I would encourage you to check it obviously in advance. I encourage everybody check it every 6 months. You might think I'm good, I've got great credit, no issues. Well, you might have great credit, but like I said before, you don't know what your spouse is doing to your credit. A lot of times it is one spouse or the other that handles the money. And my wife, for example, assumes our mortgage is timely paid. No, it is, okay, but my wife assumes that, and for all she knows, it might not be, but she wouldn't know unless she looked at her credit report. So never assume. You'll uncover all kinds of things, and like I say, there's all kinds of stories out there that go to this. So get on it early and check it often, and seek professional help. In some cases, you can look at your credit report and see a few things you can do. But this is a great opportunity for me to mention yet again, please, I beg you, do not dispute online. The bureaus try and make it easy. Oh yeah, if you see an error, just dispute online. It's easy for you. No, it's easy for the bureaus. And by disputing online, you waive all kinds of really important rights. So just be careful. Don't dispute online. Contact a professional here at Credit Repair Resources. Obviously, we're happy to help you. We'll do a free review of your credit report. And just yesterday, I was talking to one of my employees. I actually reviewed a credit report, gave a second opinion on it. I said, honestly, the right thing to do is to tell this client to go do it themselves. They had like one issue they needed to resolve, and they could resolve it themselves. It's a pretty simple issue to resolve. So seek a professional that will help you out. Anything else you think I should add to the conversation?
One of the important people that you want to add on your professional divorce team is a financial advisor. Attorneys are very good at the law. They're good at looking at sort of the whole big picture. But when you have issues with you're questioning your budget, your finances, your situations, the best thing to do is to get your credit report with a financial advisor who's trained in divorce, because they understand not only the process that you're going through in terms of the emotional situation, the challenges, what's going to be coming, how hard it is to make decisions, what are the common like setbacks and pushbacks that you're going to have in a divorce process, because a lot of what Bob talks about is separating your emotions from the logic of going and getting your credit checked. So speak to a financial advisor. Get your credit checked. If you're dealing with your house and home, then speak to specialized realtors or mortgage loan officers, and then take that information to your attorney when you're done. So I think that if you sort of follow this process step by step by step, you will actually beat that statistic where, of ending up in the nasty divorce epidemic, because you're actually doing it the right way, and you're doing it the smart way, and you're doing it a way where you're doing it methodically, carefully, in order to get you to your end goal, which is to whatever, buy the other person out or have a certain amount of money in your account or whatever you want to do with your assets. So thank you so much, Bob, for being here with us and sharing this with us. Thank you all for watching. Until the next time we speak, I wish you all a day that matters. Take care, everyone.